Their forces are slowly making their way out middle. Nico to jump spot. If he goes again, the scope would be waiting for him, but once he realizes he's been spotted, he'll just throw out a defensive smoke to block that walk up. And speaking of walk up, we got Tessus walking down the ramp. We've got Mattis, who has just missed it.
They're watching it still, though.
Oh, Tessus round the back. Oh, Tessus ripping the hearts out of G2 with that aggressive play. Kerrigan steps forward, this time dead at the hand of Sampaius.
Information, though, that's the bomb in the AWP in the middle of the map. Still waiting at the jump up, so they know A is still a very real possibility for the finishing move.
When odds have been stacked against G2, when you doubt them most, that has been the moment they have stepped up. Let's see if they can do it one more time. 3v4, 35 seconds, and a finishing move towards this B-bomb site. And it is Heavy God who has been their talisman player. Trying to link up with Nertz. He's getting closer. Nertz trying to stab through, but it's such a strong crossfire. Only Kiyosuke is required. The tap on the plant. Nico steps through, and it's all falling apart here for G2. It's going to be series point for Falcons. Heavy God doing what he can, but it's the time. There's not enough of it. The bomb is implanted, and even Heavy God can't change this fact. Falcons will head up to series point, 15-13.
Falcons didn't get any opportunities in the first half for the strong play. It was G2 with the one chance at 12-11 to win the map. Now Falcons is going to have 2 rounds of their own to accomplish the same thing. Perfect timing from Tessus. I think Hunter was even watching this at a distance, but they kind of both gave up the angle after that jump spot from Mattis. A lovely push from Tessus. This timeout will come to a close. Final chance for Saw. Final chances for G2 in this opening series. Falcons can taste that 1-0 start in this Stage 3 Swiss system. Round 29. Op for Monacy, op for Sampaius.
Nico, down elbow, down and out. It is Nertz for the opening kill. Tessus to respond, continuing to be the thorn in G2's side on this final map. Monacy next, he will strike through. Bomb is spilled, and G2's blood will join it. It is Monacy going again and again. One of the contenders for the trophy have arrived here in Cologne. Falcons made to work for it. But looking like they are going to close this first series. It's Kiyosuke around the back, looking to be the player to close it out, and he will be. The headshot comes in, and Falcons will take it versus G2. Really pushed to the brink.
Really pushed to the brink, and a classic from Kerrigan. A tough, grindy battle on this third and deciding map that goes into overtime, and he takes it over the finish line. Heroics from Nico in this series, from Monacy in this series. He got up to 22 kills on this final map. Kiyosuke, he was the captain, he was the leader. 24 kills on this map. An absolute beast. And you got to be so proud of that if you're Falcons, from getting wiped out of the server on map number 1, the comeback to standing tall here against a G2 performance that was very, very good. Falcons looking solid coming into this major.
Yeah, G2 showing their level as well. Some of these individuals are incredible. Heavy God's Deagle moment stands out as the highlight from the game, but Falcons can celebrate an opening win right down to the wire, but a victory it shall be. And we know this is going to be an incredibly difficult stage. Stage 3 with so many of the world's best teams all here in play. And G2 taking a loss that was so close to being theirs.
But what's kind of cool about this match is I don't think you can levy too much criticism onto G2. Like, it's not like they looked bad or anything, right? Like, players were there. Nertz played well. Heavy God played well. A few mistakes, obviously, but, you know, it's a grindy game, and this is how it happens. We got Freya down ready to talk to the victors, talk to Monacy.
I am indeed. Congratulations, Monacy. Overtime obviously required, but this one does fall in your favor. Can you just tell me what you guys switched up in that overtime? Because it was very close at the tail end of Ancient.
Ask Kerry. I mean, Maxime was very 1 second. We were playing very good on overtime. Finn was scoring also insane on T side, and Maxim also because we fight a lot for mid, and Maxim was taking a lot of also control on middle, and I would say Maxim, Finn, amazing players.
So much impact. Of course, coming from you as well, though. Individual form, firing on all cylinders, -C a 3K to close out that last round as well. How fired up are you entering this major?
How what?
How fired up are you? How hungry are you?
I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry to play every game here on Major. From the first game when we arrived here, you can see everyone in everyone's eyes. Everyone wants to play this game.
The crowd absolutely loves seeing you as well. Just from the outside, though, -C, it did look a bit messy. Did it feel a bit messy inside the game?
At the beginning of the game, maybe at the beginning on Inferno, yes. I mean, we were kind of in the control on City on Inferno, but we started losing some rounds. It was like very close game, you know. We could have done better, but obviously we step up on the second map, and after everything began.
Obviously, you've got a lot of history versus G2, versus Hunter as well. We saw you giving him a hug after this victory as well. Does it ever get tough facing your former teammates and obviously friends as well?
Yes, of course. I mean, the hardest match was when we played in Budapest, and it was 2-2, and someone from us would leave Major, you know. But I mean, this is the first game, and I'm happy that it's first game, you know, not the last one like it was on Major on the previous one. But obviously, it's always hard to play. We kind of understand how we play, you know. We expect each other things that we do, and yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy we won this game.
Just final question, -C. You got a lot of fans here. Anything you want to say to them?
Yes, guys, thank you for support. I heard everyone.
Lots of nice Ilias going down here. Congratulations. That's Falcons through 1-0.
You can always count on Falcons to entertain you, whether it's pretty, whether it's clean, whether it's messy. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as you get the job done. And in this instance, Ash, Falcons got the job done. It took overtime, took some, I guess, heroics coming out from m0NESY, Nico, Kyusuke for that matter as well, but a win is a win.
Yeah, win is a win, and to be fair, G2 got off to a good start, and they got the second forced buy round in the second half as well. So I'm happy that I think the better team did win here from Falcons. They were proactive, they were solid. I think I saw more here that I liked, just in general. It's like good signs here that they could do something dangerous later in the tournament. Just need to get some more consistency. This is felt like a bit of a warm-up game for them.
We saw a bit of that mental fortitude as well, you know, that we sometimes have been questioning when it comes to Falcons. Not always sure they have it in them, you know, in terms of staying in the game and mentally sometimes capitulating. But this time around, you know, when it was looking the most dire on Ancient, they found a way to actually string 2 or 3 rounds together on that T side and force it into overtime.
Yeah, they're just about enough. And like I said, I'm happy the way they played overall. I think they did a pretty good job. And then they kept it going in overtime. That was the most important thing. And it was a scary one today. G2 haven't been the best against the best opposition. You don't really care. You get through the game.
Got to be a bit heartbreaking if you're G2, though. You had it right there. You had that opportunity. And it was pretty messy from Falcons to be closing it out as well. If you're G2 right now, that one's got to sting.
I feel like they're looking at this game as a missed opportunity. Obviously, knowing they need 3 wins in order to make the playoff. This one was up for the taking. This one was definitely possible for them to win. And I think it's only going to get harder for G2 the deeper we get into the tournament. So yeah, it's a little bit too early, you know, to tell whether or not this is going to have a consequence for G2. But I agree with your sentiment. I feel like this was a game where they felt they were in it all the way to the end.
I agree as well. And you got to remember, I think Falcons potentially could be the second best team here. Potentially, it's pretty close between a few teams. And you go 3 maps. You go overtime. This game was very, very close. And like I said, Dust 2, there were moments. I understand the confidence is pretty low and you need to convert some of those moments. I think it's not the worst loss in the world for them, and they can look to try and start again tomorrow.
Well, you picked out a moment from Ancient because it did get down to the wire. We're going to start with round 26. What did you pick out here?
Yes, I wanted to go to this one because it felt like the game kind of reset in overtime again, and this just starts off terribly. They lose the first round and instantly B push comes down. And the game's kind of in trouble here, but I love the quick reactions here from Carrigan. No hesitation, straight for that window smoke. He isn't worried about the spacing. And because of this quick reaction here, it doesn't matter really that they have the disadvantage and they've lost all this B control. m0NESY is locking the rotations. There's 3 Ts coming from different positions. And they end up in this scenario where they've conceded so much map control for the kill that it almost doesn't feel worth it. And they get unbelievable positions for the opponent as well. And I just love the fact that this was the game potentially right here. You go 2-0 down to a proactive CT side, you're in big trouble. They instantly bounce back, they took the space, and they turned a terrible situation into a very advantageous one.
That's what you get when you sign Kerrigan. I'm not saying, you know, in an alternative world that Kixon wouldn't have made the same call, impossible to know, but you get that experience, you get that quickness, you get that reaction coming out from Kerrigan. They're not being afraid of actually walking through the smoke and just going for it, despite the game being 13-12, right, where you feel like, okay, maybe that's one of the moments where you just chill out a little bit, you find a different opening into the round. But Kerrigan has all that experience, and as all the players have been saying so far, the mid-round calling from Kerrigan, that's kind of what they bought into.
Probably one of the many moments Monacy was referencing in an interview, saying, you know, Kerrigan making some great calls. You want to rewind just a little bit, though, more, Ash. We've got round 15. What are you looking at here?
I mean, I just kind of want to shout out Heavy God a little bit, because I think this game wouldn't be epic. You need big moments in Counter-Strike. It doesn't matter how good you are tactically, you need people to show up and show that they really deserve to be at tier 1. And I understand here there's some over-peaking perhaps going from Falcons one by one, but you've got to hit these shots. The game's kind of slipping away from this point. This is 10-6 if you lose this round, you know, full eco. And I think at that point now, the game is done, but you get to overtime, you get chances because people show up in those moments. I think him, Nertz as well, the stats may not see it, but he felt like he had a lot of kills they shouldn't have got. This is kind of what G2 need more, I think, to be the next level, because they do look good tactically, but Falcons have more of these moments than G2 do.
Yeah, lots of impact coming out of the individuals of G2, but sadly it does end in heartbreak. But one more game does await us today. That is going to be Spirit, who absolutely speed ran through stage 2, taking on one last team ready to make their Cologne debut. That is Na'Vi, and it's going down after this.
The best of Counter-Strike 2. Available now on shop.esl.com.
Bro, you're baiting every round. Talking about? I had so many trades. Trading anything. You're miles away. I carried you. Tell me one round. Hold on. Let me pull up CS stats. Oh, wait. My bad.
You suck.
Settle your debates, search your profile on CS Stats, and turn on tracking to see all your games.
Makaze, can I grab you for a second? Hey, no, bro. Hi. It's been some weeks, 3 weeks, I believe, that we've seen Na'Vi play. It was IEM Atlanta, obviously, which you won. What happened in those 3 weeks in the Na'Vi camp?
It was boot camp, bro. It was hard work, hard preparation, ready for major. So let's see what's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
I was working hard for this major.
Let's obviously show it, but I have to ask a little bit more about the matchup in Atlanta. You broke the curse called Vitality. Is it time to break the curse called Team Spirit? Because it's also not looking that great. It's not as bad as it used to be, but
okay, let's say like this. Like we play only 2 times inside join. The first time it was the first tournament. It was Cologne, and we lost in semi. Them 7-1, I think, and Donkey M4 won. And after it was kind of hard, on Nuke we beat them, and the third map it was Ancient. So I wouldn't say it's like to break, because I play only 2 times or so. Let's see what's gonna happen. We are confident, as always. Let's see.
Personally, coming into this individual form of you and other star players, Bit, for example, or Ime Wonderful, how do you think this is going? You can only tell from practice, obviously, but you can let us a little bit insights, you know?
I mean, it always helps, because if you have this good, like you can win some rounds that you shouldn't win, like in some clashes, or like 2 versus 4, or like 2 versus 5 sometimes after plan. it's always good to win this because you have advantage after, you have like better economy, you fucked up their economy, and it's always good to have it. So I hope we have it. We keep it.
Can you tell me a little bit what happened inside of your brain after that Atlanta win? Like you lifted the trophy and you had a very good run, obviously. Did something change mentally? Like suddenly you feel like you can beat everyone?
No,
Nothing like that.
no.
But today you win.
Of course.
Let's see how it goes. Drin, thank you very much as well, and see you on the server.
See you, bro.
The Intel Extreme Masters Cologne Major 2026 is brought to you by ESL in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Zoe.
Two orgs with a whole lot of history set to take a battle tonight as Spirit are going to be facing the side of Na'Vi. Now for Spirit, they absolutely stormed through stage 2. They only lost 10 rounds over the course of all 3 series that they played in there. Whereas for Na'Vi, we heard it from Makazi, they sounded confident coming into this tournament, and I think that's fair enough, Jacob. 2 trophies to their name over the course of this season. That's what we want to be seeing from Na'Vi if they have any hope of taking down such a formidable force like Spirit.
Yeah, I think the way to phrase this game is that we're looking at the 2 most improved teams throughout 2026. I don't think a lot of people had Na'Vi, being the only team to win 2 trophies outside of Vitality this season, and especially the win in Atlanta, finally getting the W against Vitality and then bringing the trophy home. That was a big moment. Same could be said for Spirit. Arguably off to the worst start they've had ever as an organization in 2026, but in the middle of it, all of a sudden they were able to turn it around.
Absolutely. 2 teams in really good form here, 2 dangerous ones, potentially 2 that could walk away with the title at the end of this competition. We're not quite sure yet. It's interesting to see how Na'Vi are going to play introduced into the game now. From a coaching point of view, you can learn so much watching this team. I love the way they play. They don't rely on trickery or anything like this. It's good tactical basics, great fundamentals. They've got good rotations. If you want to learn, watch Na'Vi. And if you're a fan out there, you think, that Falcons playstyle's not quite for me. This is completely the opposite, and for me, they are one of the contenders here, and the individuals as well. Makazi, Bit, and Wonderful are the ones to look out for.
I was just about to say, everything you're describing right here with Blade, a well-structured team, a tactical team, a team that always plays it by the book, so to speak. They've added a bit of flair with Wonderful coming alive to his best shape ever, with Makazi emerging into the scene, playing good Counter-Strike, aggressive Counter-Strike, having a bit of that X-factor that they perhaps were missing, and then, as you said, Bit as well, just a Mr. Consistent. And I think it's fair that we also mention Emma. I think Emma has gone a little bit under the radar as of lately in this whole Na'Vi search as well. He's playing good, he's playing solid, and overall, there's something to be excited about when you look at every single aspect of this team.
100%, particularly as you were talking about the peak that we've kind of seen them trying to reach towards the tail end of this half of the season, right? Obviously, winning at EPL, that was one thing. Vitality weren't there, but then to do it in Atlanta and actually beat Vitality in the quarterfinal as well, that was I feel like that was a cornerstone moment for them. That proved to them that they have the capacity to take down the world's best.
Maybe, and that's kind of what I want to see confirmed right here in Cologne, and I think that is the biggest storyline for me and looking at this Na'Vi, because yes, they did win that tournament, but the caveat was that Vitality didn't really practice, didn't really take it quote-unquote seriously. That's not Na'Vi's fault, you can only beat who's in front of you, and whatever team is showing up, it doesn't matter what shape they're in, but if we can see them confirm that shape, if we can...
3-0, Vitality, and Mouse.
Okay. We've seen that before. Don't you think Spirit is in a good form?
Oh
yeah, did you see Spirit?
Did you see Spirit stage 2? That was...
Spirit is in a good form.
Yeah. Themselves here on this force to be reckoned with.
Oops.
Yeah, as we alluded to, obviously stage 2 didn't even feel like Spirit were in the building for all that long before they booked their ticket here to stage 3. You've actually picked out some examples of just how terrifying Spirit were in that stage, right?
Yeah, so I talked to Na'Vi, and they felt like the teams playing against them didn't play the greatest Counter-Strike, and to be fair, looking at some of these examples, you kind of got to agree with this. So here we go, instantly one of the earliest rounds in the game. A missed smoke, we can see through the edge of it pretty easily, shooting a couple of bullets in there, but it's actually way worse than it looks. He's Insanity throwing the other smoke. I don't think he's meant to throw that smoke sandwich, unless they're really scared of Donk hiding in there. But then the pathing, he eats his own flashbang. I already checked, this is a T-side flashbang. And his teammate, I don't know, he thinks he's a Beyblade in this round, but he's just spinning everywhere. So overall, when you come out of the gates like this, it isn't looking good. The pathing is obviously meant to go towards jungle. That doesn't happen either. So it looks even worse from this point of view. But when you're playing against someone like Donk, I tell you now, he's salivating looking at these rounds, and this wasn't the only one in this game. This is very early again in the half. Insani doesn't know any of his nade lineups, I think, unless he meant it to land on this roof. Maybe he thinks Hunden is playing against him and he's going to smoke out that camera, I'm not quite sure. But you're playing against Donk, you can't give him frags like this, shooting in the side and peeking out to people who aren't ready, missing utility. And even in the 9Z game, 4v2 is going to happen in a second. You have to win these rounds. Shiro and Zontic's here in the 2v4. Shiro gets one kill. Wasso Peak just massively overcommits to this, and even Max, he just has a huge advantage here, and just like that, the round is given away. And I also forgot to mention, the round before this, it was a 4v1 for Tania. It went to a 1v1, it ruined the economy, and they followed it up with this, and from there, the money was completely...
Where's the clown music at these clips? I need that clown music running in the background, because I very much agree with you. Not looking pretty from neither MIBR or 9C in that matter, but that's also, you know, there's two sides to that story, because I agree, obviously the examples right here, not looking too good, but I also think that if you're 9C, if you're MIBR, or BetBoom for that matter as well, you know that when you're going up against Donk, when you're going up against Spirit, like, you're being forced sometimes to make stupid mistakes, or at least your inexperience are showing, you know, by House of Peak over-peaking, by Max not winning the duel. There's also a bit of fear factor going in when you're going up against Donk, and that's something we have to take into
fear factor. I've seen this in practice. People, when they're dying, they're saying, oh, Donk did this, or they're praising Donk when they die, because people really put this guy...
Then, you know?
People are genuinely scared of him. When you're doing this, you're missing your utility, and you're making an elite player, that's to put it mildly, giving him opportunity and more space than he even needs, and then obviously he's going to bite your hand off. And we saw, I think, a 2 rating for the stage. Unheard of. I think most people struggle to have a 2 rating in their entire career.
Yeah, I just have to say it, you know, because there may be a lot of new viewers, or maybe a lot of viewers who's only tuning in now to the later part of Stage 2 or at the beginning of Stage 3. What Donk did at Stage 2, a 2.27 rating, I believe, on average over the maps that he played, it is absolutely unheard of. It cannot be underestimated or understated how insane that is from a player like Donk, and it doesn't matter who he's playing. A lot of people will be like, yeah, but he played 9C and MIBR. Well, we just saw 9C play incredible well today, you know. They're part of Stage 3. BetBoom, by the way, also part of Stage 3. It doesn't matter who the opponents are. If you post a 2.27 rating on average, you are on something crazy, and I want it.
It's historic for a reason, right? And that's where I'm really fearful for the side of Na'Vi, because if he's going to pull off numbers like that, there's almost nothing you can do. Is there anywhere they can move in terms of the maps, though, Ash?
Well, this just 2-pick, unfortunately. It's very predictable. Some poor form coming in here from Na'Vi on this one, and well, Spirit in fantastic form. Anubis I also expected, but I didn't think Mirage was coming in that third one. We're going to see how the impact of, well, I think we'd all agree here, the best coach of all time against an angry, tall Ukrainian guy, how this impact of the coaching is going to kind of work. So, I mean, it's obviously going to play a part, I think, as well. Also, they talked about, to me, in person, they feel like having a coach here is a big impact over having a stuffed animal.
Yeah, I just love the dynamic of the maps, right? You have Dust 2 being very open, you have Anubis being very compact, and then you finish it off on Mirage. Again, very open, shoot we need it. It should be a good game here.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much for your thoughts. It's time to get Na'Vi in the server for the first time here at IEM Cologne.
Makaze. At 19 years of age, is showing all of the signs that point to a long and storied career. A stable, yet brutal package. He is being forged into an asset on the assault. Mid players, beware. Makaze is coming for your head. Wonderful has conquered his nerves. Will he ascend on the cathedral stage? Bolstered by Blade's system, repeatedly manufacturing advantages in their preparation. The Black and Yellow Battalion is within touching distance of its aspirations for greatness. Will their ceiling remain their familiar foe?
Yes, the Intel Extreme Masters Atlanta champions kicking off their run here in Cologne. Na'Vi, we've heard the Dash set it up, a team with a veteran in-game leader, one of the greatest coaches of all time, a young player coming into his own, Makaze, the headhunter of Bit, and then over in Spirit, they have a weapon of mass destruction in Donk. An incredible showing in the second stage of the major, unrivaled by anybody. And now we get into the series to kick off stage 3, Na'Vi versus Spirit in the opening game. I think we're all spoiled by this one.
Well, let's think about it too. You just mentioned IEM Atlanta. Na'Vi taking the trophy there, beating Vitality on the path. And let's see what that win does for this team's confidence. That's a win they've been chasing for a long, long time. And right out of the gate, aggressive up middle. Double nade on a Tanir, 17 HP. He's brought out of the fight, and even Magix gets gushed at range through the smoke. Early advantage to Na'Vi, unconfirmed damage. But they'll love discovering it later on at the end of the round.
Ima waiting for contact up short. It is going to come his way. All those Glock shots ringing out. Alexi can block short with the smoke. He'll do that immediately. Yeah, smoke trickle on down there as well to the CT spawn that Spirit aren't actually going to use just yet at all.
No, they have two players outside long, so it feels like this is always going to be to the A-bomb site, but that smoke surely has got to make some of the defenders a little bit nervous. You have Bit who's pushed into upper tunnels, and now that that's clear, actually, I take it all back. You're not going to be nervous about a mid to B split in any way with this position from Bit. So tons of information on the map.
In fact, you're ready for the exact play Team Spirit's about to throw at you, and they've got no utility and two players who are incredibly damaged. Magix goes forward first. It's Zontex who's drawn first blood into the round, though. Wonderful to send one back. But even though you know they're coming, you can't stop them. Donk and Zontex coming in with headshots. Makaze and Bit now 2v4.
Surprisingly, that setup didn't feel all that powerful from Na'Vi. P250 on Donk, and he's going to go down to the dualies of Bit. 2 on 3, and no kit available for the defuse.
Now Makaze coming out long side. You got Shiro waiting in the corner. Makaze steps into the open, and Shiro's got that headshot. Bit's got to hunt some heads. He's got the first. They just tuck away, and Zontex peeks out with a very clean headshot. That's Na'Vi losing the pistol. Spirit off to a good start.
A couple missed timings. I think it was Ima who was up at the catwalk corner just kind of peeking out, and the way his jiggles kind of panned out, Magix was able to cross with 7 HP without taking any bullets. And this is what I mean by a weak defense is you're actually playing, you know, headshot angle on ramp. Nobody's fighting with him at the time. They're not wide enough for the car player to see him. Site player hasn't popped up just yet. So you actually have 3 players there getting pinched from 2 locations, and the fights are a little bit uncoordinated.
Well, Na'Vi going for a force buy here, but it's going to be heavy for Team Spirit into the tunnels. Got one player elsewhere. As Magic's just throwing out a smoke to the double doors. Everybody else in Team Spirit occupying the tunnels.
And we change everything up on the map. Shiro and Sinir traveling through T-spawn as we speak to meet up with Magix out towards Long A. Wonderful is here with the scout. Alexi joining up with him at the corner. You've got Makaze and Ima defending inside the bomb site, so a chance, at least for Na'Vi, to put a stop to the first play.
And wonderful waits. Shot will be cast through him and against the wall. Out they come. Another tag. Softening them up.
Not bad damage being dealt.
Not
Ima's
at all.
gonna start sliding over as well.
Got to make the most of it. 5-7 for Alexi B. More damage, but damage isn't enough. If Team Spirit is still taking these kills, Magic's on the MAC-10. It's a double from him. The rest of his teammates charging forward now, trying to shrink this A bomb site. Shiro, headshot at range. Tanir also enters the feed with the same, and you've got Bit on the other side of the map. So yes, great damage from Na'Vi, but nothing from it.
Story of their pistol round as well, right? Great early damage, and the initial engagements, not able to get the kills immediately and not able to clean them up down the stretch. So back-to-back rounds for Team Spirit. This time, 5 players going to be surviving 2-0. I'll fly you through Dust 2 just so you can check it out. Lovely map for Team Spirit. Been a home map for quite some time. Na'Vi's certainly going to get tested here. And I guess it's a good point to take it because Des touched on Spirit in stage 2 and Ash showed the highlights. Yeah, such a blistering pace and like with ease they got through the stage, but yet to be tested here at this major in any kind of significant way. And I think a lot of us are hoping that Na'Vi provides that test today so that we can see what this team looks like. No coach behind them. Magix as well, new IGL kind of sliding into the position. So there's a lot of reasons to feel like once pressure gets applied to Spirit throughout this stage, we might see them falter a little bit.
What happens? What is the talking point if they continue it, even against one of the top squads in the world? That is the question, and it's a possibility that it will happen. I think it's when you have a tournament where Donk is playing so well, we've seen it before. It feels like barely anybody is even close to being capable of stopping him.
He does provide a certain level of like stumble-proofness for this team. He's certainly going to carry you through some stretches. But remember, the goal of the roster changes they made, you know, the Des talked about Spirit, you know, Pim mentioned, you know, starting slow in this year, not a great beginning to 2026. There was a lot of roster upheaval throughout this year so far for Team Spirit. And all those roster changes have been made and theorized and brought in and brought to pass with the idea of creating a stronger team around Donk, so it's not as much of a reliance on one player.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they have one team in their sights, that's Team Vitality, and you know, there's interviews being given before this event even started, before the major even got underway. You know, Donk talking about how they feel confident versus Vitality when that time comes, and it'll be very interesting to see how it all goes down. Magic's, he's going to hear those steps of Wonderful strolling on over. It's been one of my favorite things about Na'Vi recently. It's just Wonderful actually figuring it out.
Sure, yeah, he's managed to find some consistency in these last few months, hasn't he? Absolutely excellent out in Atlanta. Makaze as well, his rise within this team from when he was picked up from the academy squad has just been incredible. The way that Blade has been able to make this roster work and able to kind of pick up the pieces of that roster that won the major in Copenhagen. Crumbled after that, but he's been able to recover very, very nicely within this Na'Vi squad. 3-0 for Team Spirit. The guns are going to come out for Na'Vi for the first time here on Dust 2. Shiro's got his AWP. Wonderful now has his on the other side of the map.
Can't reach. It's a bit unfair. The coach's Spirit can't reach the iPad.
Sure, he's got those short T-Rex arms.
Yeah, doesn't need them really. Shiro up. That cross. You got Makaze moving out into mid. Donk is out through lower tunnels. Makaze defending the AWP of Wonderful.
Oh my God.
That is spicy from Donk. He goes again. Shiro has to respond. Pressure on Wonderful, trying to get away, and he'll keep his head down and he'll back off.
Oh, that's so fast from Donk. Makaze doesn't have a chance. So Bit is a solo defender at this B-bomb site. Alexi and Wonderful are going to be up on short, and I think they're going to want to get some kind of a play towards middle just so they can be centralized with information and quick to react. During all this, Spirit is reconvened towards the B-bomb site. Magix is going to join up with them, and all three are going to walk out these tunnels. So it's Bit to defend over in the cubby by Car. And then it falls into the decision-making of Alexi and Wonderful on the rotation over.
So often you can rely upon Bit to deliver you around, to give you enough to even make this possible. He's worried about getting pushed on that door, so it comes down to a timing of where his crosshair is. When this peak comes around the corner, now the utility signals he has to be aware that Zontix is coming for him, and Bit gets nothing this time, so you have to back away. You have to save the other two weapons.
You can see the look of frustration as well. He even got a glimpse of the shoulder as Zontix falls down. Really, really disappointed in himself, not able to come out on top of that fight. Alexi comes over to just investigate. Nade misses its mark. Zontix brought down to 2. That might have lured them into a retake. But without the kill, Alexi and Wonderful back off.
You've definitely got the better start of your team, Spirit. You've come out very hot indeed.
I mean, this is great work from Team Spirit, breaking up this early aggressive stance. And it has to feel, it feels to me like that's got to be part of the game plan, at least in the early stages for Na'Vi. Maybe they start going away from it. That's twice they've run an aggressive stance. Did it in the pistol round as well. The double nade in towards Dark, eventually falling back one more time. It seems like they want to apply pressure on middle early to make sure that Spirit doesn't have control of it for too long, or at least it's costly. Down the stretch, it backfires as Na'Vi is spread way too thin. AWP and M4 brought forward. And Na'Vi's gonna buy up around it. A timeout called right at the tail end of freeze time.
I heard Alexi give an interview with HLTV ahead of this event and coming into stage 3. And he was talking about how, since it's the best of 3s and you've got all the best teams now arriving, you're gonna be able to tell very quickly over the first day or two of play what you might expect. You're going to see who you think is going to be the favorite for the major based on who is performing well in these first couple of games. And, you know, Vitality lost the map earlier, but recovered it and looked good toward down the stretch. And Team Spirit obviously looked like the best team we've seen so far at the major, but they got to play a whole stage before them. But it's definitely interesting to see Falcons get their win, Vitality get their win, and now a question of who of Team Spirit and Na'Vi is going to pull out, because these are the two teams that won the tournaments before the major. You know, Na'Vi in Atlanta and Team Spirit out in Astana.
Those are the tournament victories that made us feel like they were actual contenders to Vitality. Finally, they gave us all a little bit of hope turning the corner into the major. So yeah, a good glimpse in what those two wins do for these teams. Zontic's going to start moving up short, up Xbox. Spirit with 3 players outside long. Shiro holding down in middle with his AWP. So pieces in place for a split towards this A bomb site. Alexi gets out of danger as the Molotov comes in. He's got a crossfire set up with Ima.
Ima just tucking his head away here with the blue bin flashes going over it. Alexi, the one kills through. Ima gets cleared. Donk has delivered you two.
Yeah, it's the follow-up flash from Magix, though. I want to give the credit there because that's disgusting that Ima tries to peek out.
Well, it's got to be wonderful. He has to step up. He has to get multiple kills. The first shot misses. Pressure's on him. Second shot, also a miss. Finally connected on the third time of asking, but the third kill of Donk has arrived, and he's gone for it all. Headshot for Donk. The devastating effect of the rifler for Team Spirit has come through. 5 rounds in a row. Na'Vi are not up to snuff right now.
Yeah, Spirit picking right where they left off in stage 2. No chill on Donk. What a trade. Spots it out. Follow-up flashbang. Ima peeks into it, completely blinded. And then the pace. You think maybe they're going to slow down. Maybe they're going to try and get the utility in the perfect position, the detail work. But Donk just keeps moving forward. And you'll have had a conversation. You'll have had a conversation about Donk is going to get his. There's going to be some Donk rounds, and you just have to remain mentally strong. But when it actually just happens, it's so difficult.
Especially when it puts your money back in the bin. Gotta take a hit here, and already Team Spirit, look at this, just moving out middle. No one spotting it. B-Split's coming in. Makazi and Bit here. They're not ready. Dogs come in. Instant headshot. Second kill from Magix. Round's done. Over and done with within seconds. Team Spirit washing away Na'Vi.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see this half play out. Feels at the moment as Donk gets another triple kill. Team Spirit playing outside the playbook. Na'Vi masters of the playbook, but if you're not using the same one, it feels like you can really throw them for a loop. Nobody expected Magix and Donk to just step through that mid-smoke. They thought they'd have a little bit more time, a little bit more respect on that, to have their eyes elsewhere on the map. But a killer instinct from Donk and Magix, and they just waltz into the B bomb site. 6-0 for Team Spirit.
Gotta have Sheer up, going for that early picket long, trying to get out. It would be devastating to concede a player there, Na'Vi, and luckily a good flashbang to get the offer away. But Donk back to his old tricks. He's in the underpass, in the lower tunnels, and looking up towards short. He'll climb up on top of the Xbox, assisted flash coming forward. Look at the amount of space he's got. The challenger will be wonderful.
Good piece of nade work, taking Donk down to 54. Surely won't slow him. So first step achieved for Team Spirit is gaining control and map control of Catwalk. Magic's positioned at the stairs and can now drop out utility to apply pressure at will. Tanir and Donk a little bit further behind him. Zontix at Xbox, and Shiro is going to peek into the op of Bit, who drops him. A double up setup for the Na'Vi CT side.
Yeah, you're going to know that too. Look up at the kill feed. You see Bit's going op out. You know that's a real possibility. So going to be calling for the smokes to come in. Team Spirit gathering up at short. Utility to clear the site. Wonderful backtracks. He plays further at long.
Yeah, Na'Vi want to play the man advantage and now make it a 2-man advantage as Magix drops down to try and steal away a kill. So bomb plan available to Team Spirit.
I got a retake with the double op though here, Na'Vi.
Well, as this bomb is getting planted, you're going to have to fall back and take control of short, right? If you don't have a control of long in this post plant, you have to maintain control of Catwalk.
Yeah, Na'Vi may have the man advantage, and it will get extended to 3 now. And removing Donk is a massive help, but Zontix and Tanier, what is happening? How has this round gone back to a winnable scenario? Bit alone can stop it, and Tanier's got it! Even when Donk dies, the rest of Spirit stand up!
And that's the whole point, isn't it? The step up in Tanier over the last few months, trying to bring these players in to give Donk support, and the early time of Tanier in this team was rough, but now he's stepping up in the clutch. 2 versus 5, him and Zontix piecing this together. A devastating loss for Na'Vi. Everything was going their way up until it wasn't.
Oh man, they are on the ropes already. They can't catch a break, they can't win a round. That's a 5v2.
And look at the confidence now that it puts in Team Spirit. Look how fast they're sprinting up short. They want to lay on the hurt.
Donk smells blood in the water. He's going to go and take it. Wonderful. Just down below him towards CT spawn. Donk is going to see the head over to the ramp. His teammates are right there with him. Moving forward as a pack. On the hunt for these Na'Vi players. It's Zontix and Donk who are taking the first 2. The site is overwhelmed.
That's hard. This is mental warfare now from Team Spirit. They sense how much of an advantage they have, how dominant they've been in these first 8 rounds of play. And they're just cranking up the aggression. Look at Shiro, smart move, but can't transfer over to Bit. First kill takes a little bit longer than he would have liked. And saving an AK-47 is the only takeaway positive for Na'Vi is just so indicting. This half has gotten out of control very, very fast. We saw Blade call that timeout at 4-0. Maybe he calls another one, but we've seen in various moments he's also happy to just say, okay, well, you guys have to play yourselves out of this one.
Figure it out. Reigning Cologne champions in Team Spirit.
And this isn't even a tactical call from Blade. This isn't even a conversation about how to set up, how to move. This is more about getting the comms flowing. This is more about getting some motivation, some focus back within the Na'Vi camp. They are getting worked across the map. Makaze, 0 kills. Has not been able to find any impact whatsoever, and it's not going much better for his teammates. So now a recovery mission for Na'Vi as they're just looking to scrape out any window of opportunity, keep that door ajar for when they switch sides, a chance for them to come back into this map, but they need to start putting rounds on the board right now. Eight to nothing for Team Spirit. Donk is at 10 kills, Zontix at 9.
Silent on the server for now.
It's gonna be a tough vertical stack to break through, even for Donk.
Op for Wonderful. When he ain't short, Utility's gonna come in and heat things up for him. Donk's gonna peel away. And Wonderful has to dismount because of the flames at his feet.
Because of the utility at the B bomb site, the stack between Bit and Makaze breaks up. Because of the Molotov on Cat from Magix, the AWP is forced back. No impact from either of those pieces.
So you throw the mid to B smokes out, create a corridor of cover, but no one's going to play with it.
You kind of freeze the defenders because you've thrown utility at 2 different parts of the map, and now they're not entirely sure what's coming, and they're forced so far back, they don't have information.
We've got Wonderful waiting here at long. AWP scoped up and ready for its target. Magix try and drop down. Good reaction from Wonderful. Donk dead. Him a second kill. It's beautiful here for Na'Vi. That's going to be a 5v3, and surely they can't let this one slide, but they've let worse go already. Tanier going to be playing it long. Zontix trying to get forward with that bomb. Time is starting to tick. Wonderful's dead. Is that the first thread that is pulled that unravels this round again for Na'Vi? No way! No way! Team Spirit will hear your confession, but they will show no forgiveness whatsoever. Na'Vi letting another one slide unless Shiro, oh, the timing, he looks away. Tanir's around the back, no, and there's always an answer. There's always a player, and there's no mercy at all for Na'Vi.
Get him out of the server. That's a 2 versus 5-1 for Spirit, and just a few rounds later, a 3 versus 5-1. Tanir, what good decision making. He slow plays that long flank so much that they actually think he's straight up gone. Wonderful's not convinced he's gonna be there, and man, is that the floodgates opening.
Dude. You spend months thinking about this major. You win a tournament leading into the major. Those 3 weeks between now and when we see Na'Vi lift the trophy in Atlanta, I'm sure they would have come in with confidence, but they are getting their asses handed to them by Team Spirit. They don't even look like they're in the same league.
Magix is calling a great game for Team Spirit. They're pressuring so many different positions on the map. They've established success in so many different locations on the map. So hard for Na'Vi to figure out where to adjust this defense to make it work. Lined up bodies at the B bomb site in case Shiro was to get a pick with the AWP. When it doesn't happen, they go elsewhere. 3 defenders stacked up inside that B bomb site. Wonderful's got his op at short, but he hasn't done much from this position. And yet again will be negated.
Wonderful, my goodness, looks away. And as soon as he does so, Magix arrives on his screen. Dawn comes in with a second layer of the attack. 35 seconds left. Double figures will be deployed by Team Spirit. And Zontix is ready for the rest. Here they come. 3 through the smoke. Zontic with the AK. He doesn't even pull the trigger on the first. He doesn't get the second kill, but regardless, it's just still hilarious how comfortable they are right now.
Yeah, just toying with him to an extent, aren't they? How much worse could this timing be for Wonderful?
I know, nothing is going right.
I was watching it come, and I was like, he's got a long way to walk still, but I thought he'd get around the corner. It's nice to see him not getting too frustrated and too pissed off. You know it's kind of bubbling beneath the surface, but I think at some level you understand as a player this kind of game happens, and this is just one of those games you kind of got to soldier through.
I mean, you just look around and go, okay, Major's a best of 3s now on stage 3, and that is a positive. At least Na'Vi will have a shot at trying to come back into this, but it feels like it's already done. Dust 2 feels like it's about to wrap up.
Well, third and final timeout for Na'Vi. You don't see it too often, but it makes complete sense at this point. 10-0. Goose egg on the scoreboard, and still, even despite burning 2 timeouts already, Blade hasn't been able to get this team turned around here on Dust 2. Complete dominance from Team Spirit. They've had their moments, they've had their opportunities. Dropping a 5-on-2, dropping a 5-on-3. The chances have been there to rebound into this half, and everything's gone against them. Still haven't carved out any room to work with yet for the second half. And Team Spirit don't even look like they're celebrating. They're still locked in, they're still focused to pile on the round wins. Round 11 is live.
Donk, again up short.
Shiro's looking for a fight in mid as that smoke fades. Yet again, same round we've seen out of Spirit time and time again throughout this half, taking short, not losing a player, no tax to be paid. Corner smokes out in mid. This time Magix drops down to use them a little bit, clear up close. And he'll set himself up as a lurk.
Faceit handles Tanir. 5v4, wonderful. Getting another kill aim to grab one. Is it going to be a single round for Na'Vi? The leg shot will connect towards Shiro, but Magic's the last hope here of Team Spirit in this round. Oh, he's close. He's got the double.
No time. There's 10 seconds. I don't even think they can do it.
No, they have to go for elimination. And if you're Na'Vi, you just run away. Get around that corner, Alexi. Alexi will hide and bide his time, at least a round for Na'Vi. But even this round is desperately held on to just by running away.
I mean, that's still a 5-on-2 that comes down to like a 1-on-1.
Just time wins that.
And if Alexi isn't aware of that, if he like maybe misses that detail because they've been getting wiped off the map, if he sticks around a little bit too close to help out on the fight, there's a real chance that goes the other direction. It's a win, but it doesn't inspire a whole lot of confidence. Final round of the first half. Spirit have set up in this position again, but this time they want to flirt with the idea of actually attacking.
Donk is just trying to catch a bit on the jump over it, not too far off. Running in, it's Zontex has got the opener. Look at the pressure on Bit. Donk is not going to let up. Running in is that second man. It's a second kill as well here for Team Spirit. 3v5 retake for Na'Vi.
They're not giving Na'Vi any time to execute any protocols to shift over. It is just 0 to 60 on the execute. So hardcore.
And Tanir is going for the wraparound as well. He's going to drop down towards CT late into the round. He's the insurance policy. They don't even need it. Zontex with a headshot on Imma. Tap it around the back. Tanir has died. Wonderful with some nice shots on the way out. Another chance for Alexi B.
They can go
and
for
the time is on. The time is ticking. But Shiro awaits. And Donk is right here. And of course, it's an 11th round. 11-1 for Team Spirit. They have continued their reign of terror from stage 2 into stage 3.
we came into this one with hopes that someone would finally be able to challenge Spirit out of their dominant run in stage 2. Thought maybe Na'Vi, a very strong strategic team, could at least slow them down, at least throw some obstacles in their face, but Spirit just blitzed them to an 11-1 lead at halftime. Ran them over behind Donk holding W the whole way. He's got 13 kills, Zontix has 12, Shiro's got 12. They're winning 2v5s, they're winning 3v5s. Nothing matters at all because Spirit is just the dominant force today.
Yeah, Braun is definitely beating Brain right now. This is just a one-way street, and it's Team Spirit in full control. Pistol round will put this one to bed, and we'll get ready for Anubis.
There's a layered setup here on short as well. They've got people to peek off Donk's contact with these dualies. There's the flash in, and Donk's going to make that look easy.
Yep, just goes into it, grabs the opener. 5v4 now for Team Spirit.
And there's no utility for the Na'Vi side of things. All their nades have been dropped, have been utilized. So we're going to flash again. We're going to go right back into it. This time it's Ima. Oh, it's all three who get blinded. Donk is on a tear.
Incredible again from Donk. 3 kills. He's just carved them up. There's nowhere you can really go now if you're Na'Vi. Your initial plan was screwed, and the fallback plan is really dead. Ima's waiting for Tanir. He's going to miss the jump on the Xbox, which does give Ima the chance. Sends some shots out to Ashura, but he's being pushed by Zontix. And every time you think you've got a little bit of space, there's a Spirit player suddenly appearing.
And how do you get the bomb now? This is just about impossible. How do you recover from this scenario if you're bit? It's going to have to be something crazy if he wants a chance at it, because they're all stacked up. They're lined up in about 3 different ways.
Yeah, good luck, Bit.
And there's 5 guns.
It's one. At least something, but 12-1 here for Team Spirit. No bomb plan for Na'Vi, which means they don't have a good force buy. They will, of course, force. They'll throw everything they've got into it, but it's not looking pretty.
They waited a long time to play this game. Sat and set up watching the previous extended series and going into overtime on Ancient, sitting there watching, waiting for their moment. And at least Spirit showed up at the end of all that, because Na'Vi haven't yet.
And they brought a level of intensity that Na'Vi just haven't been able to reach yet. It's going to be quite the reset after this map, going in and having that talk in the break to try and get themselves back into Anubis. I mean, they aren't even going to have that cliche, like, play yourself into the map, warm up a little bit, come back. They don't have that. Team Spirit are unrelenting. They will take this and just close it out. Suffocate Na'Vi kicking off the major.
Terrible way to open up stage 3. Na'Vi is going to be frustrated with this one. Not a whole lot of resources to do anything in this round. Scout, 3 Deagles, and a Galil on Ima. Very low on utility. 2 smokes, 2 flashes left. One is used for a mid to B smoke to try and throw a fake into the mix, but I don't think anyone from Spirit's going to be bothered by that. Here's the cat play.
Oh, look at the amount of nades Magix has. He's just tossing them out. Shiro waits a goose, brings the neck of Makaze. Emma to trade and actually follow up for a second kill here on Magix. He's given his team the sight. Zoltek's gonna nip out. Wonderful, take it away. Good swing from Emma. He's doing it all on his own.
Okay, well, there's still a player out towards long, but it's Tanir with an MP9, so Donk has to slide up next and provide an opening for Tanir to start being able to scale.
Oh, let's see what Donk can do. Slipping under the gaze of Alexi B. He's missed the first couple of shots. He stays in good position, and Donk is taken 2, leaving him up. Who has to get an ace, and Donk will deny that. That is going to be a 13-1 win. Not even a smile on this cold killer's face. A 13-1 win with absolutely no hope for Na'Vi.
You don't see teams win games like that too often. I'll repeat it again. A 2v5 won by Team Spirit. A 3 versus 5 won by Team Spirit. A very uncharacteristic game by Na'Vi, but maybe perhaps put in that direction by just the dominance from start to finish right when Donk entered the server. We got the desk. They're going to have to explain some things to us.
Domination, and then there's that. That was cold-blooded from Spirit, and what just felt absolutely hopeless from the side of Na'Vi. We've been keeping track, Jacob. How many rounds is it that Spirit have lost so far at this major?
11 total over the course of 5 maps.
It's insane.
That is insane. That is absolutely unheard of. And I said, yeah, people said like, well, they played Bed Boom, they played decent teams, and now they just butchered Na'Vi. I don't know about you, Ash. You know, yeah, you can say Na'Vi didn't play well and they didn't turn up. I don't want to take anything away from Team Spirit. I think the way they came into this game, the pace they were playing with on the T side as well, whether that was in full buy rounds going up against a full buy round or in some of these, you know, semi-buys coming in from Na'Vi, it was just pacey, it was solid. And then 2 or 3 rounds where Na'Vi obviously stood at 1, 2v5, 3v4s, they also find a way to win. So I can't put a finger on the Spirit performance whatsoever.
Well, at least it was hopefully consensual domination. That was something else. And,
punishment.
I mean, it started from the start. I mean, the impact that Donk was having at the beginning of that map was incredible, and the rest of the team was kind of feeding on it. So, I mean, that's a team that is really hot from the first stage or second stage, as we saw, against a team that isn't quite ready and a team that isn't performing that well on Dust 2 recently. Spirit have now won 7 in a row on Dust 2, by the way, and I think Na'Vi have lost 4 in a row. So, it's a best of 3. That's not a great start, I'm not going to lie. But
No.
only upwards and from here, though.
I'm just baffled, though, Ash, because, I mean, you've probably been in some of those situations where you're thinking, okay, surely something is going to work. Surely we're going to throw something at the wall and it's going to stick. And for Na'Vi, it just never materialized. Like, I'm kind of lost for words.
Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes your opponent is just having a good day, and Donk has a lot of good days.
What's your takeaway from it, Jacob?
The takeaway is Spirit is, as you said, like they're coming in hot and they're coming in, you know, very pacey. I think the pace is what I'm the most impressed about. And then obviously, yeah, we can talk Donk, we can talk individuals. You know, everyone stepped up. Tenea had moments as well, but it's the pace and the poise coming in for Team Spirit. And yeah, we can also argue, you know, Na'Vi, they tried a lot of different things on the CT side, but there's only so much you can do on a CT side like Dust 2, right? At the end of the day, your players have to stand up for it, you know, and stop Team Spirit when they're coming at you in that kind of pace, and none of them were able to do so.
Makazi was even, I think he was 0-9, his first kill, maybe his only kill.
Yeah,
I think his only kill was trading against the saving players on Ticks and Tunnels. I mean, this is your best player against Donk, who was on one there.
Listen, that begged the question for me, right? I know stage 2, people were like trying to downplay it a little bit. It's just stage 2, it's Spirit, they're supposed to do it. At what point do we start to get worried on behalf of everyone else? At what point do we start to look at Team Spirit as this tournament and be like, okay, if you play like this, then I don't care what happened, you know, 2 months ago. With the current form, with the current shape Donk is showing as well, by the way, you know, trying to maintain his 2.27 rating. At what point do we say, okay, Spirit, you are on equal terms like Vitality? When you're playing like this, what is the case to be made that you can't win the major? Because I'm getting to that point now. I want to see a little bit more, but I feel like we can start to have the conversation.
I feel like when they play Vitality.
Yeah, we should calm down a little bit. It's the first map. It's, like I said, it's Na'Vi's not in a good position.
No, it's not the first map.
Now.
It's the 5th map.
Yeah, but it's the first real big opponent, big test. Let's see how it goes.
It's this guy that's been commenting then. I see where you're getting so fired up, Jacob. Either way, we should go back to the beginning of what was just a monstrous T-side for Team Spirit. What have you picked out for us to start with, Ash?
Well, the first buy rounds in the game are pretty important, I think, and actually Na'Vi had probably the perfect setup, and I think in nearly every situation here, this is just a wipe for the CT sides. The Ts aren't ready at all. And this adjustment here, look how quick this is from Akazu's POV. Like, no wonder he didn't have a great game. Donk sees the shadow, he flicks down, deletes him. They trade out in middle when it looked like they weren't going to get a kill. And then they're going to be later on in the round. It's a 3v3. It's kind of a forgettable moment, but Donk should just die every single time there. That setup is specifically designed to bait him. And then here again, they're going in the second buy round. Just such an important round. Donk against 2 people in long. The utility is fantastic, by the way. It really is good. They set up nicely, and he just keeps going. And these 2 rounds on the back of a pistol round as well, 5-0 start into an eco round, and it's going to actually give them so much momentum for the rest of the players, more confidence, and they just absolutely snowballed it from there.
Yeah, no one really stood a chance in any of those rounds. You know, you look at Donk, and I think the last clip you showed us right here, he has 3 bullets left in the AK-47, and he's instantly demolished the guy inside. And that's kind of like a symptom of what you're seeing from Donk. He's just so sharp right now that, again, reverting to the point that I was saying before, we're going to see some rounds from Na'Vi in just a moment. That's not pretty, but I don't really want to hold that up against Na'Vi. It's more so Spirit playing incredible well that I think any team, you know, maybe par Vitality would feel the pressure coming at them when they're playing like this.
Yeah, let's dive into it. This is a 2v5 and you're thinking, surely Na'Vi, surely this is the moment you turn the ship around.
Yeah, and you know, it's not over yet at this point, right? 6-0, sure, it's a very strong start for Spirit, but can you get away with 3-4 rounds? Who knows what happens in the second half if you win the pistol, but a 2v5, you see it right here. Na'Vi players are being caught off one by one, but you also got to give it to Tenea and obviously Sontex in this situation. Race are sharp, and you know, the reason why I also wanted to show this round, it's not only Donk, right? He was the spearhead, as always, but it was everyone, as you said. It almost feels like he's the one inspiring inspiring the rest of the teams to play a little bit above their normal level.
I mean, you'll know this yourself, but when you get off to a great start and people having big moments, it's easier to play. There's less pressure on yourself. You can take more time. There's no tension in there. And on the flip side, now we have a fantastic plan in the first buy round. On the second buy round, there's 2 people long against the long pop, and they lose out the trades to Donk. And then here they have a 5v2, and the game is just snowballed. And I can't even imagine how bad their mentality was at this point. But we saw they were lucky in the end, I think, to only lose 13-1.
I was just keeping an eye on the Donk rating after that one. A 2.48 rating. So definitely going miles to be sustaining the insane record he's already put up. Speaking of records, though, Ash, there's an interesting one in terms of the series stats and Swiss stages that maybe people are sleeping on, and this one's crazy.
Something to keep an eye on, yeah. I think Janko mentioned this a few days ago, that Spirit, I think, now have won 27 Swiss stage games in a row, Swiss stage series in a row, and that is incredible. I've never seen a record like this. So we're seeing on for the 28th and potentially 30 in a row to go straight through to the playoffs. I mean, if they play like this, why not? But this is something to keep an eye on, because this is incredible.
At what point do we, strip Falcons from being the group stage warriors and give it to Team Spirit at that point, right? If you won 27 group stage Swiss games in a row, you are the group stage warriors. The cool thing about them is in a lot of those tournaments where they won those, they also end up winning a trophy as well. So that's the one thing Falcons can't do.
Yeah, and a hell of a lot of change for the side of Team Spirit since 2024 as well. So super impressive to be able to keep up that consistent form. Is that consistency going to continue into Anubis? We're looking at them starting on the T side of things as well. You nervous for Na'Vi?
I am nervous, and I think everyone should be nervous. Now, the good thing is, obviously, Na'Vi have been preparing for this. It's their own map pick, and hopefully they have a pretty good idea of what they want to do on the CT side in order to stop this Spirit train that's going to come at you. You said it yourself, Ash. I think the game plan the first couple of rounds for Na'Vi, you have a two-man stack towards long. Can't do too much about Donk, right? So at some point, it doesn't matter what you do in your coaching position. Doesn't matter what Blade do. At some point, the players have to step up, and that's what I always do when I describe the game of Counter-Strike for people at home. You can have the best ideas, the best tactics, the best preparation. The entry ticket to even be part of the game is the individuals to actually shoot back. Once that's happening, once the players are entering the server, then we get into the second layer of the onion, which is the tactics, the setups, etc., etc. So I'm worried on behalf of Na'Vi not even showing up to even make it a game.
forgetting the beatdown you just took.
This is the initial kills from Donk. He stands in the open. He tries to challenge two players. Didn't work out for him. And Magic's actually even going for the reload. Still getting that kill.
I mean, to go for a reload in that situation, you know you're going to need the reload for the second player. It's not so much for the first. Yeah, tough scenario to be put into. Well done from Wonderful, just hiding inside E-Box, popping out at the perfect moment. Donk's got the hero AK, but they drop.
Yeah,
they rush out the window and catch him.
Yeah, it's good that Emma's been able to just move through the water. Donk going to be drowned out instantly, and that AK falls into the hands of Mikaze. Got a nightmare game on Dust to a single kill. See if he can do something with the AK-47 here.
Well, this is the kind of plays I think that can be super effective for Na'Vi throughout this map, right? Like, we just talked about the experience of Spirit. They're not huge fans of Anubis. It's been a while since they've played it. If you're going to push up in their face and kind of disrupt what they're trying to do and disrupt their tactics, it's going to get just exponentially more difficult for the Spirit side of things. So you like seeing Mikaze after that quiet map one stepping up into this kind of a scenario.
Yeah, getting his head in the game. AK going out for another one. Mikaze going to be burned out by Magix eventually, but Bit steps forth, and it's just Tenier now left alone. He'll be finished off, and Bit will move off to get that AK-47. And finally something for Na'Vi to celebrate. A 2-0 start. And that was a 4-spot as well for Team Spirit, so it's an eco coming up for the T side, so Na'Vi should be getting themselves 3.
Yeah, 4-spot that goes to 8. That'll be interesting seeing how often Na'Vi decide to play. Dropping down into canals. They did it in the pistol round. They've done it now in the second round to good effect. How many times do they want to call that throughout the half? Early smoke to block off vision into canals.
Donk actually runs. Oh my god, okay, runs through the fire.
That's not fair.
Yeah, that's just not fair at all. Bit gets absolutely domed by the Deagle.
And now you start feeling nervous. I don't think they're going to slow up. Everyone's here. They don't have any utility really to go elsewhere on the map, so you might as well just hit the button and move forward.
Send the AK forward. Zontex walks into Imma. Good work on the rifle. Wonderful's rotated over as well, so really should not allow this to go anywhere.
Yeah, they realize they don't have the opportunity that they wanted to have at the A bomb site, so they back off. This leaves Tenier in a lurk position. I don't think anyone from Na'Vi is going to push forward towards the double doors, but might be able to find a timing to swing out and grab a quick double tap with the Tech 9. Mikaze alone at the B bomb site. Na'Vi still more worried about the middle of the map. And they're coming right at Tenier.
That Tech 9 ready, but unable to live up to the rifle of Wonderful. Mikaze at IV knows they're now coming towards him. Donk is ready for that fight, just couldn't get it. Although Shiro certainly will. 2v3, it's doable here for Team Spirit. Shiro! Oh my god! Okay, now it's Imma. Left alone all of a sudden, Team Spirit with another round they should have no shot at getting into. And it's Shiro landing the headshot, Imma down low. And no round is unwinnable for Team Spirit.
Shades of dust.
Team Spirit.
Shades of dust too in that round.
Imma steps forth, he tries to get himself back into this round, but he doesn't have a smoke. If he had a smoke, he could get on the defuse, but even then, Shiro's done enough. Imma goes after him, but Shiro's not letting up. He hides in the corner. Shiro with a 4K, stellar round on the AK-47.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, they're both ready for the fights. That's a tap of the bomb. They want to force that play out of Temple. Shiro knows he's got to be off the bomb to actually help Magix win whatever fight comes, and man, he just swings. They're lined up. They're not able to get wide. First player stops cold, and Shiro takes advantage of it. And I mentioned a nice pistol round victory was going to help Na'Vi get over the fact that the first map they got demolished on, but now you're losing another advantaged round. Now you're not able to actually retake the bomb site, a situation you shouldn't have dropped.
It's just crazy the kind of rounds Team Spirit are winning today. The way Donk gets the opening kill as well, that gets the AK that eventually does that, it's just insane. Well, Na'Vi have an AWP out. Got Wonderful on the sniper.
It's also, I mean, look, you got to give credit over to Spirit, too, not giving up on that round. Could have been very easily when that AK goes down as you're attacking into the A bomb site of just continuing forward into the slaughter, but hitting the pause button, Spirit's fighting for every single second of every single round. Zontex and Donk to lead the way, and they're going to challenge on contact.
Yeah, okay. Bit had his rifle out in a good enough spot. Zontex wasn't ready for that angle. So Zontex It's just Makaze left, and he has to slip away, realizing the time isn't on his side. Magix isn't going to get the kill. Makaze is going to be able to fall away. But that is going to be Team Spirit into the lead of the game here.
Got a little bit dicey, a little bit too hungry for those eco frags. Everyone's stepping out. I think maybe this is where if they had a coach behind them, someone might be saying during the next timeout, you know, kind of cool it down on chasing these kills. We're playing great. Let's not overextend. Let's not give this one right back. So Na'Vi at least bring a single AK-47 forward in the hands of Makaze. Helps him build up $2,300 after the investment into round 6. But Na'Vi had that lead for such a short period. 3-2 in the favor of Spirit.
Now Shiro, who's been doing some great work on the rifle, has the AWP out. Ima made this move earlier on in the game, and he's able to remove Donk. This time no one there to meet him, and Magix has actually just pushed out through mid, so kind of traded positions out. Okay, Bit keeps his head down, waiting on a timing to peek up, but when he does, 2 players on the other side. No one's got their crosshair looking towards Bit, but Donk creeps up, he spots it. Bit able to win out that fight. Wonderful's there to help him and to bail out his teammate. So a great start to this round for Na'Vi, but a shot sent back by Shiro.
Let's also remember that great starts mean absolutely nothing so far in this series. Na'Vi has dropped a strong start of every single kind across Dust 2 and now 5 rounds on Anubis. Zontix and Tanir coming in through camera. Timing couldn't be worse.
Oh, the trades are in. Zontix and Tanir coming right back. Shiro's holding middle. Shiro, Na'Vi's bane. He's got himself the kill in mid. Makaze dead. And Alexi B 1v2. Shiro has repositioned. Not in the open any longer. In fact, he dives down into the water. Alexi realizes, I've got a small chance, a very small window to 1v1 this fight against Tanir. Rushes in, but Tanir does not bite. He does not give him even a glimpse. As Alexi B comes up towards heaven, Tanir is repositioned. And at this point, Team Spirit just playing with their prey. Alexi B realizes there's no round to be had here. He will back away. And again, a good start means absolutely nothing.
I love watching Tanir play like that. I love watching him just use the sound cues. No need to take that fight. You take that fight, and for whatever reason you lose it, and you put Shiro with 29 HP into a 1v1, that feels terrible. Just winning by positioning, recognizing that Alexi can do nothing if he doesn't find that kill. 4-2.
Team Spirit not looking so bad on a map they've got a 0% win rate on.
I mean, again, another round where the initial engagement goes in the favor of Na'Vi. They come out with a man advantage and still can't win it. This has got to be so frustrating for this team round after round, and you can now start seeing it. It's no longer bubbling under the surface. It's right there in front of our eyes.
In one map, you go, okay, everything went against us, everything went for them, but you carry that into your map pick as well, and it's just, okay, there's something fundamentally going wrong today for Na'Vi. Makaze looking down through the hole into the water, but no one putting themselves in harm's way right now for Team Spirit. There's no signs of going anywhere quick. The bomb is all the way back at spawn. Just going through the motions, forcing this Na'Vi defense further and further back, taking the mid control. Magic moves up just to the double doors.
It's been a pain point for the Na'Vi defense a number of times, but it feels like there's not as much aggression to it this time. Magic's just in position, and he's going to back everyone off. Bomb still in T-spawn. 55 seconds left on the clock as it's recovered by Tanir.
Yeah, slowly moving themselves over towards A. You've got Zontix, Donk, and now Tanir joining them.
Good timing on that smoke. That's actually really unfortunate for Team Spirit as they're just aligning over to this position. This smoke is not going to leave them with a whole lot of time. Thankfully, they've got some standing over in middle. Complete control of the middle of the map. That might make this a little bit easier.
Oh, Magix is moving forward to wrap around and cut off those rotations. Donk again has died, but 19 seconds left. Going to be a photo finish in this round for Team Spirit. Can Bit stop them? No! Zontix has both kills in the A main players, and the bomb will now arrive to the site with 6 seconds on the clock as the plant begins.
Look at the trust that Spirit have in each other to let the clock rot down that low before breaking the smokes and coming on through. No panic whatsoever with 20 seconds on the clock. Patiently waiting until they're ready to take all the fights. Alexi finds one right at the end to upgrade into an AK-47. If he can find it. Oh, God.
It's like, even that's just not,
Yeah.
doesn't even want to go. Navi's
Literally
way. It's
everything is
It's
going
gone to the
wrong.
void.
Where did it go?
Might be under the bush. Who knows? Well,
Hate it when that happens.
yeah. Lexi can't find it. Nor can Navi end the series.
He's going to try one more time.
Okay, one more time, boy. Did it go over the wall? Did it not land under the boat?
Oh, man, that sucks.
Where is it? Okay, he's so confused.
He's just looking for anything to be happy about, you know? Let's give him one. Give him the AK. A 3-round lead, and Na'Vi take their first time out. Blade had to burn all 3 in the first half, back on Dust 2.
Yeah, well, Na'Vi have been here for a number of days, right? They arrived before the other Stage 3 teams, and we heard Alexi talking about that in a lot of the press interviews before this stage kicked off. He said it was good. You know, we get out of the boot camp, we come here, we come to this venue early, we get to see the teams and the players walking around. The PCs are better here. It feels like we're kind of locked in, practice is going well, and we're settling into the tournament environment and getting in the right mindset. And so you think, okay, we're coming into a tournament. Yes, our opponent today was already playing in Stage 2, but at least you should be more locked in than this. We are seeing one of the worst versions of Na'Vi we have seen in a long time right now.
Yeah, especially when it happens after they lifted that trophy back in Atlanta. That was supposed to be the moment they turned the corner. I mean, Alexi even saying in interviews, you know, now it feels like we got the individuals who are going to step up in pressure moments, in the big moments, and step up when we need somebody to. That hasn't happened at all today. We haven't seen any of that. And, you know, Stage 1, Stage 2, there are some teams that come in flat and looking like not how you'd expect, and you kind of say, oh, yeah, you know, there's still a team trying to figure things out, up and down, it's okay. For a team like Na'Vi that's supposed to be challenging for the trophy, not okay at all.
Oh, Donk moves up silently, creeping as Mikaze 4-step forward out of the smoke. Donk going for 3, but Alexi B finally putting him in the ground, but the rest of Spirit have moved in, and they are playing some beautiful, right, who last year wasn't a part of the team at this time, and they were able to go ahead, win a trophy, and we were like, oh, is Tanir, you know, it seems like just a perfect move, an upgrade that just makes sense. It didn't work out that way. It took a long time to sort of integrate him into the team. We watched Tanir drop off. We actually really watched the whole of Team Spirit see a drop off, but now as time has gone on, it seems to be just clicking and looking fantastic.
Yeah, whatever Sotvik did to Aki while he was standing behind this team for a little bit of time has actually done wonders for him. All right, Zontic's looking to take some guns away at the end. It's been quiet, wonderful, back turned as he walks in. Not going to expect this. Quick shot isn't there. So toys being taken away from Na'Vi down the stretch as well. Zontix and Tanir looking to trade out this AK on Bit. And he'll get it at the end of the day. 4-round lead now, and Na'Vi nothing to bring forward into the next. Six rounds in a row for Team Spirit.
It's a tough scenario for Na'Vi. Pop out and 1 M4, so they're going to do it. They're going to leave some money over it.
And again, we're having a game where one team is getting tons of openings. You know, Na'Vi's actually done a great job finding opening kills, first kills in the round. They've got 5 of them, but only 2 rounds of their name.
Yeah, it's just the responses from Team Spirit are insane. The clutch factor, every round is winnable. They're fighting to the final second every time.
It's the same round they ran last time. There's just, oh my God.
Oh, Donk. It's coming for Alexi too. Alexi's up next, trying to get back to safety, trying to get back to his teammate. Wonderful, protecting him. The scope will connect to Tanir.
They can still call this off, Team Spirit. I think Donk is getting all the sound cues that the rotation is heavy in this direction. But they're still pressing forward.
He's waiting on his teammates so he can pair up and move in. But wonderful, finishing off Magics. Donk has got another one, but it's the 5-7 of him out ringing out. And this buy looks to pay off for Na'Vi. A 3v2, but a minute left. Still time to recover, and Shiro still alive. The Immortal has been clutching beautiful rounds up time and time again, but finally Wonderful has delivered a big round here. He's on the hunt for his 4th kill. And Zontic's just waiting here on default.
He's going to try and be a little snake in the grass, right? Hopefully nobody expects him to be here. Now he can make his move.
He's actually got a good position. Needs to pop this kill on him immediately. There it is. Gets out of the gaze of the scope. Smoke as well. He's got some cover. Thinks about where to place it. 25 seconds. A million thoughts racing through his head as to how to play this one out. Where is the other player? You know, Wonderful was last spotted towards the temple. Now you just spotted him. He didn't see him. He didn't react to it. He's checking the smoke. He's trying to get to that bomb. Time is the limiting factor, and he gets pushed out from... No way. Zontix gets a chance. Oh, he goes out to the peak, but Bit is able to take the kill. And Na'Vi finally getting one.
Funnily enough, that was the one position he never really considered throughout that entire time. He was checking towards platform, checking towards temple walkout, checking towards B main, but never really considered E-Box as the flanking point. Na'Vi finally back on the board. A lovely opening kill from Donk, but not able to build upon it. Good shooting from Wonderful with the op. He had a couple misses on Dust 2 that could have turned the tides in a few rounds, but here on Anubis, he's nailed those ones in round 9.
There's the jump down, him out going aggressive into the water, but Donk has handled it. He's got both, and he's ready for the A main play as well. Devastating force displayed by Donk. 3v5 for Na'Vi instantly.
He was caught by that aggression early on in the half, and it's not going to happen again. I think a team flash as they descended out of the hole made things a little bit easier for Donk.
When that happens, Na'Vi, you just feel like the round's already dead. Team Spirit taking all the time in the world. Try and block them. Hope, pray that Bit and Wonderful can do something ridiculous. Something unthinkable from Wonderful now. Waiting at storage. He'll be smoked out as well, so just no chance, nothing being given. He has to walk away.
Yeah, he's gonna back off, and he's already telling Alexi, I'm not going for this. You know, if I don't have a teammate, if I don't have an M4 to clear these close corners on a retake, there's no point in me even being involved in this. So we're gonna try and keep the AWP in his hands. Magix has even just dropped the MAC-10. He's playing with a Glock. Now found an AK-47 in middle. And Spirit are not letting Na'Vi even start getting into this series.
No, not at all. Anytime there's been a moment, you know, kicking off the start of this map even, and we're like, okay, they've come out. Makaze's warming up, looking good. They've gone for aggressive plays. They're killing Donk. And then Shiro decides he's the next player to step up.
Yeah, Shiro really carried him through the start of this run for Team Spirit. With some impressive late round plays, but now that the time has gone on and Spirit seem to have warmed up into this, they don't really need Shiro winning the post plants. Now they're just dominating out of the gate. A little bit blinded. Donk still manages both kills. Makaze and Ima ate that flashbang quite a bit as well. Good swing from Tanir to ensure the trade. 2 rounds remain in this first half.
All signs point towards them going the way of Spirit. Early smoke deployed towards Bit. Does he step in front of it? He does, realizing how important it is to try and control this area. Down towards A main, he will stand. He has severed off from his teammate. He steps out of the way from the utility.
Look at the defense Na'Vi has already. Double in mid, double at the A bomb site. They're so worried. This has been such a pressure point. Spirit have exploited it a number of times. But Magix has called 2 very good maps, so after all that conditioning towards middle being the point of attack, they're changing things up in this round. Nobody's home. The position of Wonderful and Alexi, these resources are out of location. It's all on Makaze. And nobody from Na'Vi is budging out of their position.
Magix calling rings around Na'Vi. They start to realize it's quiet everywhere else. They start to bring Wonderful back over just in time to try and defend this B bomb site with his AWP. Tanir carved out first. Tanir's grenade catches out Magix, who gets one with his Molotov. Zontix and Donk arrive into the site, and it's Donk with lethality onto Makaze. It's 3v3 though.
And Zontic has stepped through the smoke. He now controls Temple. That's a huge part of this bomb site to control.
It needs to fight, and he doesn't win it. Zontix has got so much control in this post plant for Team Spirit. Alexi B and Ima will give it a good go. They'll send themselves forward, but it's a futile effort. Alexi B can get nothing out of this, but he walks there anyway, knowing he's marching to his inevitable demise. 8-3 from Team Spirit on a map they have a 0% win rate on. And it really does look like they've been cooking.
I was wondering if they were in the lab coming into this, and it's hard to tell right now because Na'Vi, this is two really, really uncharacteristically flat maps that we've seen from them in this series. So there's now that kind of question mark of how much of this is Spirit obviously putting some work in and looking comfortable on Anubis, and how much is it just Na'Vi looking terrible.
Yeah, well, I wondered if the dominance from Team Spirit in stage 2 was just because the weaker opposition.
Yeah, you can't mess with this one.
You can't mess with this one at all. The most recent trophy lifters in Na'Vi in Atlanta. Wonderful.
What?
Against Shiro. Okay, just sent that one right through the smoke, right through the head of Wonderful.
How did you have that response?
Yep, it's quick. And it's quick again here from Team Spirit to try and get in towards this A site. Alexi B waits at bricks. Sends the nade over the top. Alexi B sends himself forward through the smoke. Hero play towards Cake. Grenade gonna land on his back. And Alexi B is getting battered by utility. No mercy from Team Spirit again. They've got the advantage once more. They move into the site. Bit with one, but advantages are short-lived for Na'Vi as Team Spirit continue to fight back. And the stage 2 farmers have a new crop here in stage 3, and it's Na'Vi unless Makaze, but even he can't do anything about it. Shiro sets him down, and Na'Vi are looking like they are off to a terrible start.
one contender came into play. It's all shouting and cheers and happiness and jubilation over on the Spirit side as they just work Na'Vi across the board. Very few moments to get excited about if you're Na'Vi. All stress, all frustration, including this one little crazy moment in the first half that we wanted to see exactly what happened. This is Alexi taking on Magix, and that AK-47, oh, it goes flying. Bottom of the sea, never finding it again, unless you're our observer. Thank you,
yeah,
MC.
It's got a submarine. All right, well, sinking deep right now are Na'Vi, and they've got to dig deep to try and come back into this game. 9-3 down on their map pick. They switched to the T side, and now you need that Alexi B masterclass.
I don't think there's any coming back from this. Add Dust 2 on top of it, and I don't know how you recover. Especially the way Donk is playing and the way all of Spirit really is playing. Fearless and recovering situations where they're 2 men down. Now on both maps, they're just able to win any round, any situation. Tanier and Zontix being aggressive in middle, peeking deep. Magix peeking deep towards through canals. Donk at that B bomb site. Shiro's going to be the anchor of the A bomb site. Utility is chucked out towards A, but the main thrust of this attack is going to come through middle, which is where Zontix and Tanier just rotated away from.
They crossed the smoke. They're at the temple. And now they start to back into camera. Tanier at the ready. Smoke fades away. Wonderful will grab the first headshot. Look at the pressure Shiro has now coming in from multiple sides. He's done well to at least get one, but the rest of the kills all following suit here for Na'Vi. Donk has arrived down in the storage. Look at the box up. Makaze. And send him packing, but he just can't get this headshot. You've got Imma just to that right side, and that dual Beretta swing is going to be lethal towards Donk. So the pistol round picked up here for Na'Vi.
Yeah, and it worked exactly as Na'Vi would have liked it to. You know, you throw out the utility towards the A-bomb site, you pull the defense away from middle, which opens the avenue for the 3 players you have coming in. Tanier playing behind that smoke for the fade was never going to work. That's at best a one-for-one trade.
That's both pistols for Na'Vi now, Jason.
Well, it'd be cool if it doesn't just put them on 4 rounds. That's the rough look. It's supposed to give you like 5-6 rounds if you win both, but we'll see if they can build upon this one at the very least. There is an edge to the T side on this map, it feels. CT side still sometimes can be very difficult to hold on to those bomb sites, very uncomfortable for the anchors.
Yeah, so let's see what Spirit decides to do. Do they force here or just go for the full eco? They got so many rounds to play with.
I think you full eco here. You just get to the gun rounds as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah.
With this kind of a lead, just get the rifles out with the way you're playing.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Smoke double flash for Magix. That's it. Maybe you can set up a little play, but for the most part, it should be a 5th round here for Na'Vi with no issue. It's going to be an incredible streak for Na'Vi. Seemed like they were setting it up in the first half. You know, things were going well for them. And that round where Donk runs through the fire at A main with Deagle, gets an AK off bit, falls to Shiro's hands, and he goes on to 4K. That's the turning point.
All right, well, here's where the trap is set.
I think it's the best chance for damage for Team Spirit.
They'd like to attack outside of the B main, but, you know, if they come in here, they'll swing happily for this one. 3 players lined up. Oh, there's the contact, there's the swing. USP works for just the one, but the weaker weapons come into effect after that, or the stronger weapons, however you want to phrase it. 5th round for Na'Vi.
Yeah, but make sure that that one doesn't get too damaging. Gets himself a 3K on the Galil quickly. Now, speaking of quick, we've got Team Spirit buying up, right? They've got the rifles out. They've got Magix going to an MP9.
Yeah, full sets of utility and a bunch of players for Team Spirit. The only thing they're missing in this round is kits. 9-5, first gun round underway. This will tell us a lot about how much Na'Vi can fight back into this half, into this map, into this series. Tanier covering mid. Shiro will be in support of him in middle, and Zontix at the A bomb site. Magix and Donk over towards the B bomb site. And Na'Vi yet to make any significant moves on the map. Alexi Wonderful and Makaze going to join up with each other in mid.
Alexi moves up to the double doors and doesn't detect anybody just yet. Because Team Spirit have 3 players waiting down inside of the A site. Makaze and Alexi B move forward as a unit. The smoke is up, and that does allow them across to the temple.
I don't know if Donk and Magix realize that mid is this wide open, that there's like no eyes on it whatsoever. There's the push out of A main. Tenier goes down for free.
The break in, and Nate doesn't shadow the smoke as much as Donk would have liked, but he knows he's got him pinned in there. He knows he's got bit.
Yeah, but look, they're already walking out A. Makaze's actually already out into the A bomb site, so this engagement is going on, and it's like, fine, whatever, but you've already lost this round if you're Team Spirit. Bit adds 1 more, Ima adds on to Donk. 2 versus 3, and Makaze is gonna catch Zontix off guard, surely.
Yep, he does. Puts him in the ground, and you got Magix having to slip away and save an AK-47, so Na'Vi outplays Spirit here. The CT side showing a weakness early on.
Yeah, I mean, much like the pistol round, it's the lack of information over in middle that really kind of sells them down the river in this round. They never have any idea of what the timing is, where the play is actually headed to.
Well, the gap is 3 rounds now.
Yeah, it starts to feel doable, doesn't it? They're within striking distance, and they get to dictate things on this map. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see Spirit in their timeout situation. Again, we came into this series saying we haven't seen them tested yet through their run in stage 2, where we'd like Na'Vi to be that team. Map 1, not even close to being tested. But if Na'Vi can creep this a little bit closer, we're going to get our first glimpse of Team Spirit being challenged for a map, being challenged down the stretch and pressure situations without a coach, and we'll see what the result of that is.
See Magic's being super vocal in that save as well, just making the most of that time he's got, just to trying to organize things a little bit. But next round, you don't have the resources to do so. You obviously throw that AK in the Donk's hands as soon as you can. So Magix does that.
Well, they've kind of gambled and guessed that you know, they put the AK in Donk's hands over towards the A bomb site, right? So they're kind of saying we think that, you know, Na'Vi's going to make a play here towards this side of the map, and maybe you can delay them as long as possible. We can tell just from the way Na'Vi's playing this round, I think this will be a little bit faster pace.
Yeah, it's going to pop into the B side. It's going to be contact as well. No nades being thrown over it. There's the contact. They don't need to go yet. They were just searching for that opening towards the B bomb site, and didn't grab it.
Yeah, if he gets that pick, they might escalate with a little bit of aggression after the fact, but yeah, now the round will slow right back down. Smoke towards middle. Blocked off by a CT smoke for the moment. The big win there for Spirit is nobody dying at the B bomb site, means the opportunity of them wandering into Donk's AK-47 on the other side of the map is still available to them. .38 seconds on the clock. Utility now starting to be used to pressure this defense.
There you go, Zontix is found quite quickly. Donk, this AK-47 put in his hands. Trust put in him to try and do something, but he's taken down. Shiro's 5-7 has taken 2 kills though, and the bomb is on the ground. They have to come back. They have to challenge Shiro. He's just trying to maneuver himself very well, being a nuisance, being a threat, but finally they get rid of him. But Magix is getting into position late at A main. 10 seconds on the clock. Can Magix win this?
He can stop it.
He's going out in the open. Run away, Magix, run away. And he's gone away from it. He's stolen it out of their hands.
He even goes back for good measure, just a challenge, but man, Spirit keep finding a way to frustrate Na'Vi every single step. I mean, just surviving in middle, burning those extra few seconds. Absolutely incredible. Shiro stepping through the smoke. And it's just so brutal. You can see he's coming back to cover this exact position. He's jumping back to get there just in time to allow that plant to come through, and Magix just beats him to the punch. And a day where nothing goes right for Na'Vi, that trend just continues. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Second timeout burn from Blade. Spirit now 3 rounds away from a 2-0 series victory to start stage 3.
You drop another one. Another devastating blow to the mentality of Na'Vi. That timeout taking instantly. And I need to get right back to things here, Na'Vi. You need to continue this T-side success. The full buys return for Team Spirit. The AWP for Shiro once again. An incredible round out of Shiro here. That 5-7 gives them the opportunity, cuts so much time off that clock. Tanier looking down middle. No one from Na'Vi challenging just yet.
You kept Spirit on the back foot as long as possible. Now they got some cash flow. And a little bit of an aggressive peek, a peek towards middle. And Tanier saw one just as he kind of stepped back around the corner. Gonna go for another one with the flash. Good dink, but no kill. And Magix follows to his death.
Yeah, great opening success here from Mikaze and Alexi B. But 5v3s don't make me feel all that confident in Na'Vi still. But with that,
oh my God,
you're gonna be all right.
Yep, that ain't bad at all from Bit. Not going to be an easy closeout of this map, although Spirit, they are playing with the last two remaining members at this B bomb site. Na'Vi closing in here. Shiro and Donk.
Shiro, there's a shot on Alexi B. And, nothing seems impossible right now for Shiro. Oh, he's got another one. He's got Donk trying to back him up, but it's just Shiro. And now he's missed a shot, and that's going to cost him. Wonderful moves in. Shiro doing well. Donk gets one of those players coming up through connector, then who knows what might happen.
Yeah, I mean, if that hit comes at a different timing when they're further back in the bomb site, but so very committed around that pillar position. No chance to find a good second fight.
Oh, Shiro jumps up to 20 kills to join Bit. This was his 20th hit.
It's the middle of the map, man. For both teams, it's been really, really a painful point. Again, 2 entries found, and Spirit, much like Na'Vi, can't find a solution to containing these plays in the mid. And now finally, again, I said we wanted to see Spirit tested, starting to see a little bit of stress on their side too, as this map, probably after the first half, felt like it was gonna be another easy closeout for them, like Dust 2.
Yeah, but organizing the CT side is proving to be a problem. This is where the game plan and the system of Na'Vi can help, and you do not have a coach, as we have pointed out so many times with Team Spirit, to help you arrange and configure the defensive setup.
Maybe a timeout after this round, potentially, to talk things over. 4 of 5 rounds in this second half going the way of Na'Vi in this run back into the game. And after this, they're within 2. So again, Spirit find themselves with numbers at this B bomb site where Na'Vi want to attack into, but it's just the pistols.
Okay, Donk Deagle up first. Taken down. Sontek's next. Body shots. Damage done. No confirmed kill. Alexi B on the flank. Shiro's in his way. It's out of the smoke. Alexi B's just going to walk on by. Clear out Sontek's nose. The Shiro's right there. And he's going to snatch back and take Shiro as well. So 2 from Alexi B. 2 rounds away from tying things up.
Yeah, and we still haven't seen the Spirit defense kind of snap in a way that makes us feel like they know how to stop this. Round 19 coming in, it's 10-8.
When you see a double op setup come out, generally that's a sign that CT side's getting a little bit desperate.
I think, I mean, this might be, I'm assuming Magix is going to take this, he's taking it towards the B bomb site. I thought you maybe want to put position one of them over towards middle. Shiro's taking his towards A, so Magix is going to park himself. Tanier the solo mid defender for the moment. One of the strengths of Na'Vi, their tactics, their protocols. After you get demolished on map 1, you can be so out of sorts mentally, but the nice thing for them is one of the most well-drilled teams. They can just rely on those protocols, on the practice, on the training.
Mikaze making his move. Going through the middle smokes. They know they've got that entire area to work with. Anywhere they go, they will detect an AWP.
Yeah, it's just really hard at the moment. Like, if you're Spirit, you know they have middle. But it takes resources away from defending the B bomb site. Tanir's got to be committed to CT spawn. He's no longer mobile around the map, and now that he shifts position, they've got access to Temple as well. And whose job is that all of a sudden for Team Spirit?
Yeah, not organized right now. Not in a way that gives you faith, but 25 seconds, anything can happen when time is running low. This is where the individuals commit the difference. And Shiro, he will chime in. Alexi's gone. Zontic steps out. Good trade coming in from Wonderful, but you need to get rid of Shiro. You have to deal with Shiro. Bitch running through middle. He'll get a kill here. Ima, but Donk's on the headshot. He got both. Tanir's off of heaven. And of course, Donk gets both kills in mid, and Na'Vi let the time run down so low, they couldn't piece it together.
Yeah, the difference this time, though, is that actually Spirit get the 2 kills, right? Shiro grabs the first one coming out of camera, Zontix adds another one, and then all of a sudden, you're doing okay. The attack is slowed down, Donk has time to shift over and rotate through the Temple smoke. Everything going correctly this time for Spirit. Good job from them. They couldn't hold on to mid, but that containment tactic with Shiro's up, a deep angle from the pillar is absolutely perfect. Third and final timeout for Blade and Na'Vi. They fought so hard to come back into this map. So hard to recover from Dust 2. And they've clawed themselves into a position to actually steal this map away and force a third.
Yeah, but that position rests on this round. You've got no money left over. It's 2 Galils, a MAC-10, 2 AK-47s for Na'Vi. In combination with a Blade timeout, and going back into battle one more time, Na'Vi have a last shot at trying to stay alive in this series.
Third map would be Mirage if they can take us there. As you said, so much rests upon this round and how you can manage it.
Bit gets into the canal. He's had a great game, Bit, on this map. 22 kills. At least he's got the AK-47 in hand.
Yeah, matched by Shiro on the other side of the server. 21 for him. Another slow opening for Na'Vi. They really love running down the clock here in this map, letting the CT side burn their utility. They can take advantage of the lack of smokes and Molotovs to keep them at bay.
Again, Na'Vi prioritizing middle. Once again, Spirit have no one there.
I think they're just putting so much faith in Shiro with that AWP at the A bomb site. The other side of the double op setup is going to get tested, though. Middle's being taken once again. This feels to Spirit like every other round they've played from Na'Vi. However, the finish is going to be on the other side of the map. Emo, Wonderful, and Bit wait outside of the B bomb site with the bomb, so Tanir's got a job to do.
On the finish, making his move with a MAC-10. It's going to be Tanir who has found that kill, and we got Makaze to respond with a Khalil. Now a 4v4. Magic's onto the back of the platform, blinded and held back. Now he looks forward and he strikes true. It's Ima dead. Donk delivers. Going again. Donk with a second kill. And is that going to be enough to grab a series point? We talked about Bit. We talked about how good he's been so far. But he needs to turn it up another level. And that's a step in the right direction, but he's out of bullets. He takes a breather. He searches, and he will not find it. Shiro finishes him off inside of the site. It's Team Spirit up to series points. And Na'Vi run out of chances.
Man, that's on a razor's edge, though. When Tanir goes down 1-for-1 over in Temple, you can see Magic's desperately trying to find any safe point to watch to be able to hold. He wants to hold towards B main. He knows that's the next player that's coming before he has to respond over to Temple, and puts so much faith in Donk. Just says, you know what, screw it. I'm exposed to Temple. Donk's got me right on the edge of the smoke. A beautiful shot and doubles up after that. Magix and Donk deliver on this B bomb site defense, and now Spirit have 4 chances to close this out, and the first one might just be the easiest.
Oh, Bit will get the AK out again. Frustrated, he couldn't get that clutch going. Tanir goes aggressive, catches Na'Vi while they're up against the ropes.
There hasn't even been an indication that Spirit wants to be aggressive in mid pretty much this whole time. They've never really moved past the double doors, and all of a sudden Tanir's in your face. And this round you're trying to desperately focus on the tactic because you've got a low buy, you got weak weapons, and now you're a player down as well.
No longer will Team Spirit have a 0% win rate on this map. They don't play it a whole lot. here at the Major. Na'Vi have brought it to them in the first game of Stage 3.
I mean, it's a good point to build upon, too. Good to show, especially early on in this Stage 3, that you can play it if it's brought there, that you can actually beat some top teams on it. So a valuable victory if Spirit go on to take this.
As if you needed another reason to fear Team Spirit. Bit already up through middle. Fighting Zontix, but utilities dropped instead. There's no challenge. Don't give Bit even a chance. He is the only hope here for Na'Vi. And Taneer waits inside of Temple. The only thing that can save Na'Vi now are prayers. And Taneer just waits. That rifle will catch them if they try and come through, but they're going to try and avoid him.
Yeah, but has a CT side ever seen something like this? Like,
okay, this is sick. They're going through the cave. 25 seconds left.
Yeah, it's fine. I actually really like this play. Donk and Magics don't seem aware of the possibility. Neither does Taneer. They actually might just get sidelined here.
Oh, but it's the Donk spot. He knows now because they use utility and they're in a good position. Donk and Magix looking to fight on. Donk has got the kill. Goes in again. It's Magix this time. Wonderful Deagle strikes into the feed. Another one picked up by Mikaze. But Zontix comes on over. Time the problem. Mikaze's dead. 13-8 win. 2-0 dominance from Team Spirit out of Stage 2 into Stage 3. And there's no slowing down.
They make it look casual, don't they? Not even a sign of stress on their faces as they stand up in celebration. Spirit, after running through Stage 2, we wanted this to be something that we could see if they'd get challenged, and it's not even close. Donk with another great performance, but on this second map of Anubis, you got to give a shout-out over to Shiro. An incredible showing from him, 22 kills overall, and he got them started on the T side. Those late-round victories to get Spirit into the winning way, and then they ran away with the map and ran away with the series.
Yeah, coming into this event, you know, the worries about not having a coach standing behind them, the inexperience of Magix as an in-game leader. Well, you've just gone up against one of the most tactical teams in Counter-Strike, one of the greatest coaches of all time, and Alexi B at the helm of the in-game leadership, and you've blown them out of the water.
Look, I'm not ready to sell Na'Vi out quite yet. You might have just caught him on a very flat day, a very flat start to this major, which I'm sure is going to be the conversation with them tonight. Regardless, we do get to talk to Donk. He's down with Freya.
We do indeed. Congratulations, Donk. That domination continuing from Stage 2. Tell me about this Anubis. A lot closer than Dust 2. What was the key for you guys to close this out in 2?
I think we found the key how to beat them, and so like from the second side when we started winning the rounds, it was just I found the key and that's it. Nothing special, to be honest. We just expected them to play another way, so like we lost a couple of rounds, but it was fine because we won a lot of NT side.
Anubis was one thing. Dust 2 was a whole nother topic. 13-1. There's one moment I want to ask about. Round 7, you're in a 3v5, you die. It's down to Zontix and Taneer to close out that 2v5. What were your reactions from witnessing that moment?
I think it was insane, but you know, like it's CS, so it always can happen. So like, yeah, we were super happy, and that's it. I think like they did a lot of mistakes, and they won that round.
Yeah, you absolutely punished them for it. Just one more question, Donk. I want you to look on over there. You see that stained glass artwork? I'm sure you know that's you from last year. What emotions do you feel when you see that?
Surprised. I don't know. That's it. Like. That's it. It's major, like Köln Legend tournament, so it has some history, and I'm a part of it.
You are indeed. How do you feel about the prospect of maybe getting to defend it and take the major title? Do you think it could happen?
Yeah.
I think if you're playing like this, there's a very fair chance. Congratulations, Donk. That is Spirit through beating Na'Vi.
I also think there's a pretty good chance that Spirit will be in contention for the trophy if they continue to play as well as they've done so far in this tournament. As Spirit in Stage 2 was the highlight for me, playing incredible well, not breaking a sweat whatsoever. Dare I say it was the same thing today against a formidable opponent like Na'Vi. I know this game got close at some point, and I know Donk had to step it up at the later stages after being kept alive by Shiro, but overall, as a best-of-3 series, pretty convincing for Team Spirit.
Yeah, they just can't beat this mother Russian team, it seems like, at this point. That's 5 times in a row now they've lost to Spirit. They seem to have something against them, and Donk was only putting up a 1.6 rating as well, so you've got to take that when you get the opportunity. But this is Spirit's, in theory, worst map, and Na'Vi picked into it and they still won. So right now, they're looking pretty good.
That's the crazy aspect in that one, right? We obviously talk about individuals, speak of Dong, speak of Shiro, speak of Tenea, who as of late have had a bit of a resurgence as a player as well. But from your point of view, in terms of the map pool as well, has that developed as much and as aggressive as the rest here?
I think they've been pretty solid all year round, to be fair, with the map pool. And they've been struggling on Anubis. It's 2 blowouts out in a row. It's a good one come back here. Mirage was also a little bit of a worry, but that's now seemed in this stage like it's just the easiest thing in the world for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of them. See, can they keep doing this against these teams and making them look ordinary? Because right now it looks like Team Spirit should be invited to the final rather than stage 3.
I think that's a very good question, right? And I think this Na'Vi, I don't know, I'm interested in your take, Jacob, because of course, coming off a win in Atlanta, that's one thing. But was this the same version of Na'Vi today that we saw back in Atlanta?
It's super hard to tell just based on one best of 3, but ideally you'd say no, you know, with the way they performed today, with the way the individuals played as well. That's one thing that really stood out in Atlanta. Wonderful, having a fantastic tournament. Makasi continuing to be on his game. So no, I don't think they showed up in the same form or the same fashion today. Doesn't mean that can't be the case tomorrow, but there's no doubt that today there was only more